Debt ceiling? What ceiling? Meme coin season is in play. Question everything, trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper, here on Debate Crypto. It's Monday. It's Memorial Day. So what a better way to do it than with two veterans on the stream. Yes, I said two. One of them you're looking at. And then we've got your boy, Army Piper. Army, how are you, sir?
Brother, I'm doing great, man. How you doing, man?
Dude, I am doing fantastic. Glad to finally be on a stream with you. Met you in person. We've chatted a number of times, but every time you've come on, you've been on with Crusader. So I'm excited to stream with you. Excited to check out what we got going on with Chart Prime. There's a ton of cool stuff that we're going to be getting into this afternoon. So Crypto Fam, first of all, smash that like if you haven't already. Make sure that you're following the Investing Bros with a Z on YouTube. That link is down below the channel, and turn on the little bell indicator. That'll let you know when we go live, when they go live. Turn it on for them as well. As I said, it is Memorial Day. Army, are you still active? Is that correct?
I am still active duty. Yeah, I'm in the Army on terminal leave until June 30th. July 1st is my first official day as a civilian after 21 and a half years of active duty. So
thank you for your service, brother. Terminal leave, that's got to be a good feeling. For those who don't know what terminal leave is, basically he had some days to get paid and hang out for a little while until he is actively end of service. So
yeah, they're paying me to be a DGen right now in trade. So that's
paying me
awesome.
to be a DGen, and it's meme season. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So we're gonna get into Bitcoin, what's going on with the markets, touch on the debt ceiling, how everything is being affected, and then we're also going to play around with some plays that have done really well for people. I don't want to shout him out, but I'm gonna tell you that someone in our Discord made about 10K. Word on the street is they made about 10K off $600 on one of these yesterday, I believe. So stick around. We'll chat about that a little bit. Let's kick it off. Let's start off with the markets, see where everything is, and then we'll move forward from there. All right. So the global crypto market cap is not Shaka. That was something I was peeking at earlier, one of those little dumb plays we've all been looking at. All right, the global market cap's at 1.15 trillion with a T dollars. That's up 0.61%. Bitcoin, 27,652. Pretty flat right now, but still in the green, up almost 3% on the week. That's good to see. ETH busted up over 1,900. A lot of people saw that. It kind of ripped yesterday. It is back down to 1891, which is still up over 2%. The rest of the market, as you could guess, up either pretty flat or up to a couple percent. XRP, fam, put them up at 48 cents. That's up 1.87%. Hey, let me ask you, Army, before we get into kind of the topics of the day, is there anything in the top, let's get out of the top 10. This is kind of off the cuff here. Anything in the top 25 right now that you are specifically looking at to possibly stack as we move into this bull market?
So I've been stacking quite a bit ever since I'll show you, but we had an indicator that told us pretty much what the bottom was going to be halfway through the bear cycle. Okay. And so I've been stacking up ever since then pretty heavily.
Anything in particular?
Yeah, my portfolio basically consists of a little bit of Bitcoin, a ton of Ethereum.
Yeah, me too.
XRP, Cardano, Chainlink.
Okay.
Let me think here. I did Matic. I got a bunch of Matic. I've got a bunch of some Singularity token, AGIX. Okay.
I've heard people talking about that one a little bit recently.
So I've got a few other ones in my portfolio that I can't recall off the top of my head, but yeah, it's pretty much top running tokens and then some good running movers. I'm also on another show called, besides Investing Bros, called Crypto Gem Hunters. Okay. And they look at small cap tokens They run through them and look at the tokenomics on it, the utility, all that good stuff. See how much has actually been released to out there and how much they're still holding. Look at the wallets to see if they're centralized, overly centralized, stuff like that. Really, really good research team that's over there. But I do a lot of TA with them, and so they got me in on AGIX way early. So
interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of plays out there, Crypto Fam. If this is your first what's up and coming bull market, stand by. Things can get wild. But what I would tell you, as not financial advice, but what I would tell you I believe is going to happen, I've been talking about it a lot. Maybe you haven't heard me talk about this before, but I believe that we are going to have a utilitarian bull run. Yes, there's still going to be the meme coins. Yes, there's still going to be the garbage that people are going to make money on. But I do believe that problem-solving cryptocurrencies, crypto assets are going to be the way of the future as blockchain moves into more and more just standard everyday businesses. These businesses need ways to solve problems. And if they're solving problems, they're valuable. And so ultimately, I think that's what we're going to see on this next run. That's why I'm looking at a few different assets, in particular. Chainlink's actually one of them that I'm looking at. I think, the tokenomics on Chainlink, everybody complains about it, kind of suck. But the reality is, talk about a problem solver. You need information off chain to get on chain. That's what an Oracle does. I like Chainlink for that for sure. And then one of the other ones that you mentioned that I'm going to be starting to stack some more is definitely going to be Polygon Matic. I think that I love ETH and I love the ecosystem, but because it does allow us to move even faster, which transactions on ETH recently have been actually pretty daggone quick. But the problems with the gas fees, etc. I think people are looking for new and different solutions as they get more comfortable with the crypto markets, and definitely those layer twos are one of them. All right, cool. So, Army, debt ceiling. I mentioned it at the start. Let's start with that because it's kind of the broader topic of what might press this market in the direction that I think that it's headed, or at least short term. Tell me your initial thoughts. The debt ceiling is going to be raised. What are your thoughts on how the markets are going to respond?
So I think that a lot of people already baked it in because let's be honest, the big markets outside of retail, they know that the debt ceiling is going to get increased. We're never not going to not increase it because then we wouldn't be able to pay our minimum payments of interest. Then our credit rating with the IMF drops. Then it costs us more money to borrow down the road. As a government, the last thing you want is your credit score to tank, right? So
as anyone, you never want your credit score to tank. I've found that one out a little while ago. That's not fun.
You think? Yeah. Yeah. So we knew that was going to happen. So I think a lot of your big institutional investments, they've got that already baked in. Okay. Now it's the retail people that are looking to make the plays for the cash grab, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are going to be shocked. I think we're actually going to see a lot of people thinking that it's going to pump, and I think it's going to do a fake out and it's going to grab a lot of liquidity before it comes back down, grabs that liquidity, wrecks a bunch of people, and then takes off. So what I'm actually doing is I'm waiting for the initial information to come out. Then I'm going to be looking for strong support levels where I can get a good retest bounce. And that's where I will, if you take a look, anytime that I'm sure you've done this, if you put a trade in and you put a stop loss in, how many times has your stop loss been grabbed and hit?
It's like it searches it out. It's like looking for it.
Exactly. And the problem that most traders have is that they put a stop loss based on the best entry. Your best entry is at least either your whole trade at the stop loss where you would psychologically put your stop loss, or split your entry between your entry point and the other 50% at your stop loss. And then set your stop loss off of that.
That's an interesting way to do it. Actually, I think you might be the first person that I've heard suggest that. So you're saying go to put half the trade in at where you're at because I like this position. Here's where I would put my stop loss. So I put another half of my trade in at that, and then drop the stop, whatever percentage you're comfortable with below that.
Correct. And then that you'll find that'll land you out in the realm somewhere of about a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio, depending on if you're scalping or higher time frame. So
that's a really interesting idea. Crypto Fam, you come here for the alpha. You're catching it right now and you're getting it for free. So smash that like real quick. Let me jump into the chat. Forgot to do this right at the start. Who was the first one in the house today? Elo Brown. What's going on? Thank you for your support.
It's one of my chart primers.
One of the chart primers. Kenton Smith, longtime follower, big fan. DCA, what's up, brother? How are you doing? Andrew Wanderer, David Brumble, Good to see you, brother. Who else we got in here? Sean Behringer, Dennis Vaccarano, Crypto Trades, and then, well, Elo Brown again. So we appreciate all the support, guys. Continue to show up Mondays, Thursdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Debate Crypto. And then on Sundays, Crusader and I do a bullish, bearish, effectively do Debate Crypto style back and forth. That's at noon. What time are you guys streaming, Army?
We go live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, except for today. Except for today. You know, Memorial Day, everybody took a little time off, so.
For sure. All right, so let's kick it off with Bitcoin. We like to focus on altcoins on Mondays, but I do want to start with Bitcoin just to get a broader look at where the markets are. Talk to me. You have a Bitcoin chart pulled up there? Is that what that I'm seeing in the background?
Of course it is.
Talk to me about what Bitcoin's looking like.
Yeah, so taking a look here, man, on the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin right here, looking at on Friday morning, we had the nice strong tick here that triggered on our Market Dynamics Pro. Once it came up here, or sorry, that's the Market Oracle Pro. Once it came up here, we hit this trade band, and I want to show you what our trade bands look like because a lot of people are not aware of how these work. So the trade bands are in here, minus the order blocks that you see right there. They run in a series of colors. And so you've got this upper trade band here, the frame, lower frame, and then inside of here, right along this yellow line that I have, which I can hide here for us so that you can see it better. Hide that. There we go. You can see this blue line right here. This is the delta line. So it's going to be the running median of the running mean of this entire price range. And these are predictive. So they print all the way out at the beginning. But a majority of the price action occurs between the two trade bands here. You can see how well the price reacts to them. So what is interesting about this is that when we look at what it did, we got a nice bounce up here. Let's throw my overlay on there. There we go. We got a nice bounce off of this upper trade band, right? And we got rejected there. You can see that if I go ahead and turn on the Oracle Pro, that once we got up there on that, we also printed a reversal flag. We hit our momentum waves, which typically we bounce out of these and then bounce reject off of these, right? They're a lot like Bollinger Bands with a whole lot more math in them.
Okay.
And so now we're on the way down, and we're currently sitting right at 27,600 right here. I do see that we have a chart pattern. That's this red line and this green line running right here. Let me go ahead and highlight those just so you can see. There you go. We got a little wedge pattern that we broke out of here from the auto chart patterns. And right now, it looks like we're coming back to retest the top of this. You know, a lot of times when you break out of these, you'll retest before you go back up. So we got the confirmed breakout on this chart pattern. But right now, I do think that we're going to come down and see in that range of about 27.3 to 27.2. That would also put us in line with bouncing off of our dynamic reactor here, giving us that double confluence at that point right there. And that's probably going to be about 27,300. So that's what I'm watching there on Bitcoin. One thing that I do want to show you is, nope, not that one. On the Gaussian channel here, looking at the Gaussian channel on the weekly for Bitcoin, we're still trading in the upper mean band here of this Gaussian channel looking at the weekly chart. So I would be watching for upside of 29,400 right now, looking at the ultimate downside of about 2,500 if we bounce off that median. As long as we're in this upper trade band though, guys, at this point of the game, if you take a look here and I bring this in, you can see that in previous cycles, once we broke out of the red and got up into this channel, we were able, minus the row dippity dump there, we were able to really run hard. And if I'm not sure if it's on this one. No, it's on the Bitstamp. Same thing in that cycle also, though. When that happened, we got a nice, good run once we got above this median band. I do believe that if we can hold this, not break down below this mean band here, and then ultimately break out the top of the Gaussian channel and prove it as support, we're well on our way to the next bull market run. We also have on the weekly here, our oscillator, the chart prime oscillator, is starting to get this little spin. When you see our oscillator start to do this squeeze on a curve and it twists, that's where you typically see upside. And a lot of times our price action stays with the cloud. You can see here when it came up, it was stated to the cloud. Right now, we're hitting the bottom of our cloud here on the oscillator too. So I do think that this is about to come back up and give us that push up above the Gaussian channel here for that run. Things are looking good. We've even started to separate on the hash ribbon here, and this is the hash rate of all the Bitcoin miners right now. We came close to a touch, possibly flipping into the red, didn't do it, took off again, and now we're starting to get that little gap separation in there that you can see right there. That's what you want to see happen with these hash rate ribbons. You want to see that green line stay above that gray, because if you don't, it means that they're slowing down on the mining. They've actually picked up on the mining, which means the miners are seeing something that the rest of us are not seeing. So
I like it. Crypto Trade says those chart prime indicators are on point. Let me just ask you, kind of as an aside, Army, what kind of time do people need to put in to, and again, this, by the way, we're talking about Chart Prime because he's using Chart Prime. This is not sponsored by Chart Prime in any sort of way. I'm just letting you guys know that. What kind of time do people need to put in to really get a basic overall good understanding to be able to use Chart Prime? How much time do you think people need to set aside to learn it?
Well, we actually, in our community over there, we have a very unique setup. We don't just have indicators. We also have an entire live education. We have a live instructor that gives classes 5 days a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So,
and where can people find that?
That is in our Discord. But you can go to chartprime.com. And I think you guys actually have an affiliate link.
Yeah, I don't know if we have it. I don't know if we have it in there right now or not. Crusader set up the stream today. Hopefully he does, and maybe you guys will use it. If so, we will be putting that up soon. We actually are going to be diving into the Chart Prime classes. We've heard a lot of really good things about it. We're learning to trade more and more. We bring the experts on because Crusader and I have not been the experts as it relates to trading, but we're trying to get into some more trading currently, and so we're going to be checking out Chart Prime for sure.
Yeah, we definitely don't offer indicators that tell you when to to enter your trade here and exit your trade there. There's no single indicator that's ever going to give you that.
Yeah. No, there's so many there's so many pieces, parts that go into it. You've got to look at a bunch of different basically little clues, right?
Absolutely.
It's a big map. There's a whole bunch of clues, and if you put what we call confluence, where there's multiple clues pointing in the same direction, then you're saying, okay, this is what makes sense. And you're not gonna win every time. You never are. The markets are gonna do what the markets are gonna do. But if you have enough clues telling you, hey, this should be headed in this, historically, this is what this has done. That's how these indicators work, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's ever going to be able to tell you buy here, sell here.
And so one of the big things that we tell people is we're not going to hand you a fish and feed you for a day. We're going to teach you how to fish and feed you for life.
I like it.
And so we teach, multi-time frame, multi-confluence TA, right?
Yeah.
These are just really, really good at offering layers of confluence
and ways to look at it for sure.
Correct.
It just makes it a simple way to look at it.
But time-wise, we had traders that come in and within the first month are killing 50% plus on trades.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Elo Brown just joined last week and he's been learning because of crypto trades. That's in the chat. Yeah. Crypto trades has been hitting trades that have been 20, 30, 40% on a daily basis. He's really doing good. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I'm looking forward to hitting those as well, brother.
Well, the big thing is, though, is a lot of our members, we also do crypto trade signals, which are included with your subscription.
Yeah.
And so the guy that we have over there, he runs over 70% accuracy rate on his crypto trade calls for entries, take profit, and stop loss, all in the data. So a lot of our members are honestly making money off the bat, copy trading him while they learn to use the tools and do their own trades. And he shows the setups that he's doing. So even when you see his setup that you're going to enter on, you can see why he chose to take that trade. So yeah, I'm telling you, nobody offers what we got going on over there, man. So
I will I'll tell you this. So one of the things that you're probably not going to be able to copy trade, kind of shifting gears a little bit, is the meme season that we got going on right now. Let me just tell everybody, okay? I have been talking about it. We've been playing around. We've been doing some degen stuff, been making some money. I lost some money yesterday on a couple degen plays. Again, just it's a learning curve, and that in particular is also a large amount of luck. But a couple of them that we've gotten into, and again, none of this is sponsored, just talking about stuff that we're doing. A couple of them that we are involved in right now, and when I say we, I'm talking about me and Crusader specifically. One of them is Ben. We're good friends with Ben Armstrong. and believe what he's going to be doing long term. And then ETH.Ben has got the loyal token, which is supposed to, the airdrop is supposed to happen tonight. I think the pre-sale maybe is still open. Ben.eth, if you can check that out. I'm not really sure, but ultimately there's a full ecosystem that's happening there, and there are plans behind the scenes that even I can't talk to you about right now on the stream. I believe in those long term. And so the one thing that I will say, though, is all of these are very high risk. We talked about it yesterday. You need to be prepared to have a game plan. Maybe some of them get in, most of them get in and get out. One of them I know you wanted to talk about, Army, was actually one that Crusader and I just missed. We had talked about, Crusader had talked about, hey, let's get into this banker coin. Okay, which is funny for Crusader to say that. Shout out to Crusader. He always talks bad about the bankers, and now he wants in on banker coin. But it was on Cardano. And so I have never actively traded anything other than, well, I've done some stuff off of the Ethereum chain, but I have never traded anything like that on Cardano. So I kind of poked around a little bit, figured out where I was going to do it. Okay, boom, bam, slam, I'm ready. And then it freaking launched at like 5 a.m. yesterday. And people have done well. Talk to me about how that's been going, Army.
So you can't even do, or there's no charting for it, brother. It's only on Tap Tools IO. That's how small it is.
Okay.
But yeah, one of the people that I know that you know also hit me up and he said, hey, I just want you to know, Bank went live last night on the Cardano chain. Can only swap using MinSwap, but I made $10,000 on the $600.
I hope he took profits. Did he take that? Like, did he actually capitalize? Because I'm about to call him after this stream and say, bro, if you didn't take that and now you're telling me you got $800, no, I think it's been pumping. I think it's been absolutely ripping, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's still got more to go. And he even admitted, like, hey guys, look, this is a total crap coin. It's a meme coin, but it's great for traders like us, he said, because he knows I'm a degen trader, but I did not actually get into it. It was the weekend and I was doing a bunch of stuff with my family, and family's always first for me. I'll trade later.
Yeah.
I'll catch the next trade. I can't catch that next hour with the family,
Yeah. No, that's a good point, man. There is a balance for sure. And I've noticed as I've done some more of the degen stuff that I've had to literally yesterday, I had my wife sitting here, need to do something with my daughter. And I'm like, hey, can you get her real quick? I'm in the middle of a trade. And I started to think about it later. And I was like, man, yes, at some way, shape, or form, got to be able to make money. You've got to do your thing. But ultimately, I'd never want to be at the point where I'm so pinned to my computer because I've gotten so degen that I can't pay attention to my daughter. Shout out to my daughter, by the way. It is her 2nd birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah. So Addison just turned 2. And also, coincidentally, well, actually not coincidentally, we got 3 things happening today. We got Memorial Day, we got my daughter's birthday, and then today is actually my parents' 41st anniversary, I believe. So shout out to them as well. A lot of stuff going on in my household. We've got a big little shindig that's going to be happening here in a little bit. But no, we wanted to come on and talk to you guys. It's Memorial Day, so what better than to have 2 veterans on stream talking crypto? All right, so
Freedom
Cardano.
Money. Freedom money from the freedom fighters.
Freedom money from the freedom fighters. I love it. I love it. So Cardano, bankless, went nuts. People have been making money. Our suggestion that's not financial advice, that kind of is financial advice, is have a game plan, get in, get out, take your profits, because these things move quickly. And I'm going to tell you, they move very freaking quickly. I went from up 30% to down 50% in about 4 minutes yesterday on one of these things, and it just boom. And if you're not ready and you don't have that game plan there, that will happen. So be paying attention. All right. So what else have you been looking at? We touched on Ben. We believe in that long term. What else have you been looking at personally, Army?
Well, so just so you're tracking, I told Crusader last week I had messed around in some. I played with my Pepe a little bit, and pulled in 100% returns on that within a 12-hour period.
Nice.
Took all of my profits out of that, which by the way was like $1,000. So I put $1,000 in on it.
That's
and I threw that grand into what did I throw it into? Was it XRP right before the pump? I think it was XRP.
Okay.
So everything that I do with meme coins and everything that I do with my trades is all about my portfolio.
Your longer portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. So
nice.
my plan is to break $1 million in 2025. I'm currently at the current level sitting right about about $250,000 in crypto right now. So
Heck yeah.
let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Crypto's been really good to me too. I don't ever like out and out like tell everybody like my portfolio value, but I will say like the amount of money that I've put in since 2017 versus even my portfolio right now when everything's down, it's incredible. You tell somebody in the stock market, if I told somebody in the stock market what I've done in 6 years, in 5 or 6 years in crypto, they'll look at you like you're freaking crazy. They're like, excuse me, you did what? And I'm like, yeah, but it's also
absolutely.
there's also high risk, right? Like I've also I lost $5,000 randomly one day the year before last on a token call out from somebody that just absolutely I mean, just quick, boom, see ya. So it's definitely
I just want, yeah, my point of saying that is I want people to know, like, Army don't pay a bunch of money. We don't make a lot of money in the military. I'm not an officer. I'm enlisted.
Dude, it's beautiful having
I retired. I retired as a first sergeant, so
yeah.
E8.
Yeah.
But in the little over 3 years that I've been messing around in this is when I've really accumulated all this. Yeah. And that's the point of me putting out the amount, is that it doesn't take a long time. And it didn't take a whole lot of money. Really, a lot of it was just really smart trading and being dedicated to my gains, being investment. So
talk to me about that, Army. I don't mean to cut you off, but one of the things that I think people where they mess up, and I've done it myself, is not having two things. One, not having any sort of actual game plan, which you hear me say game plan. There's a reason I say that. The second thing is not knowing what to do with it afterwards, right? So let's say I execute. What's been some good decisions that you've made as it relates to trading, or how you're trading, or how you're taking profits that you feel like have allowed you to stack your bags over the past few years?
So the big thing that I've done really has been to know when it was time to walk away. I did not mess around at all in any of Luna at all. Something felt off about it. It was just too good to be true. And that's how I am. That's the type of person I am. Just so you know, my job in the Army is I was an intel analyst. I would take information from trends and patterns and create predictive analysis for the future, right? So it just kind of works out with trading. But the big thing that I did was I watched. Let me turn up my volume here. I think I'm a little bit low on my end. There we go. Cool. But the one thing that I did realize was that when Voyager had its whole fallout, I was watching for that June 27th date, which was the default date that Voyager had for Three Arrows Capital to make their payment that they defaulted on. And when that didn't come through, I made a lot of moves with me and my dad, because I got my stepdad. We take care of him. He lives with us. Love him to death. He's heavily invested in crypto too.
Okay.
I got a 78-year-old DJ in my house. But
really?
Yeah.
You don't hear that often. That's probably the first time I've ever heard that. 78-year-old DJ.
Yeah. So he had a bunch of money sitting over in Voyager on USDC, earning that yield on there. And I ran into the room that night. I was about to go to bed. I was like, oh, I got to move. I got to go tell him right now. I said, hey, give me your phone. We're moving all your stuff to US dollars. And that was the saving grace. All of that money that he had over there that was sitting in US.
He had it sitting on Voyager.
Yes. And I moved it all to US dollars that night, started pulling $10,000 out immediately, and then the next day I got another 10,000 out, and then it got frozen. And then on August 18th, anyone who had their money sitting in US dollars got it released because of Metropolitan Bank. So he got all of his money in August out of Voyager.
Man, good for you.
And it was literally, that was staying up on the alpha. Like if I had not known that the default payment date for Three Arrows Capital was the 27th of June, I wouldn't have known to be watching for it to know that, okay, it's getting ready to go down. So
yeah.
The alpha, guys, if you get the alpha, if you got a source, and you should have multiple, because you never go with single source intel ever.
Yeah.
for good alpha, that is your biggest asset you have in the space, period.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, we've been talking about all the meme coin stuff. The reality is the secret to it is just getting in early, right? And it sounds easy, but it's not. You have to get information from multiple. A lot of times, by the time you hear about it, it's too late. So, what are some tricks of the trade? So, I will tell you that one of the tricks I think is turning off and on Twitter notifications for people that are going to be running or a part of projects. And that sounds simple, but I will tell you, it just gives you that, like, okay, for example, I entered a trade yesterday or the day before off of a Twitter notification, and I happen to be sitting at my computer, and I only take advantage of it when I'm doing it. I see the tweet come through. It's from somebody that I know moves these meme markets. Boom, immediately into the trade. I see it pump. I get out. Thank you very much. What was that? Was it luck? Not really. I mean, just ultimately, I knew the market cap was small enough. I knew when the call out happened that, hey, that's going to move. That's going to move this a little bit. And then I was willing to get in and get out. So that the Telegram groups, I want to tell people, be freaking careful. I was at a family event yesterday, or I was at a family event a couple days ago on Saturday, and I was texting Ben Armstrong, and I said, hey, bro, I didn't know you guys were doing an airdrop. And he's like, airdrop? ? And I was like, what happened was I opened up my Telegram, the Bencoin Telegram. It was the exact same logo, whatever. I just had a new notification on there. I don't have my settings set that other people can't add me, because then it makes it really difficult. If you do want to get into a group, somebody can't add you in, whatever. There is a setting for it. But I will tell you, make sure you know which freaking group you're in. Make sure you are in the right group, because what happened was I legitimately said, oh, shoot, when I get home, I've got an airdrop to claim. And I've never fallen victim, never once. I pride myself on this because I'm really super careful, to some sort of a scam like that. But I will tell you that I would have looked at it again when I got home, and I think I would have spotted it, but it was good, and it was exact, and it was on point, and it had the admin releasing the information, and the freaking the deck page that it sent you to looked good. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful. You will get added to these Twitter groups or these Telegram groups as soon as they figure out that you're part of or invested in or watching that project. They will add you to it. They will scam you, and they will take your money. So freaking be careful.
Trust nothing. Trust nothing.
That's right. Question everything. Trust nothing.
Everything. Yeah. So if you jump over to my chart real fast, I had talked to you about this earlier. You asked how I knew it was time to take profit and run.
Yeah.
So this is our auto printed chart patterns here, and it printed the head and shoulders pattern here with the breakout line. If I take this,
that's a distinct head and shoulders, by the way.
Yes, it is. If I take this and I put it here and I drop it down to where the breakout point, that was the bottom of the market. Bottom of the market. So yeah, and I started buying in back down here. So
it's incredible.
Buying back in.
It's incredible. I got to tell you, Army, I have always been skeptical of technical analysis because I'm a numbers guy. So let me be really clear. I'm really math oriented. I'm kind of Rain Man with math and being able to do calculations, whatever. But ultimately, I'd always been skeptical of it because in my mind, there's actually things happening in the background that are making these markets move. And so I had a hard time really getting my head around it. But the more and more and more we do TA, the more people like yourself, the more people like CryptoFace, the more people like Gareth Soloway, the more people like Crypto Lifer, the more I could go on and on and on and on of people who are succeeding using charts and are not paying attention to fundamentals or paying attention to news, or maybe they pay attention a little bit to it. Magic Internet Money is a great example. He doesn't pay attention to any freaking thing except for the charts and has done very, very well. Yep. And so I like the fact that it's something, and I'm the reason I'm getting into trading now is because I'm so number centric anyway. Now that my kind of switch has been flipped, like, hey, this works. This absolutely works. And you don't have to win every trade. You just have to win. You don't have to win more than you lose. You just have to have good risk management. And when you do win, you know what I'm saying? Actually take your freaking profits. I'm going to be, man, I like it. And I'm really starting to become a believer in it, but I've always been skeptical of it.
Here, let me show you guys a quick a quick trick that you guys can do. Because no matter what you do, no matter if you had no matter if you have paid indicators or if you're using traditional TA, it doesn't matter. You just don't go try to build a house without knowing how to use your tools. That's all it is. I'm going to show you guys a quick one here, right? So you look here, just go under where the Fibonacci's are at, and you grab, oh, no, actually, I went to the wrong one. You go here where the trend line is at, and you grab this regression trend tool. Anytime we go into a consolidation like this, just drop this on there. And, you know, for example, like at this point, this is where we would be at. And every time it prints a new candle, just keep bringing it over. Watch what happened when we hit, when we started to get the breakout. Just enter when it breaks and it confirms a close below it, above it. Or the same way if it had gone down the other way below it.
Where's your entry on that? Where's your entry on that? So talk to me about that. You've got that set up there. You keep dragging it over. It's in the channel. It's in the channel. It's in the channel. Is the point that it breaks out, or does it need to come back and confirm? Like, what's a simple way to kind of look at that?
So what I do is I look for minimum 1 to 3, preferably 1 to 5. Okay. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this really tight right in here underneath just to these wicks back here, because that would be your last support test. You see that right there?
No. What are you pointing at?
So now, right here,
I can see it better now.
Yeah, right here, you've got these wicks. That's going to be, if you do come back to test here, if it had rejected here and came back in, it's probably going to come back to test this line of support on these wicks. Okay. So I just set my stop loss to be, let me grab that again.
A couple % below that?
Just a little bit below that. And that's going to give you a 1 to 3 to 5 risk to reward ratio.
Okay.
So
and then when it does break, I know you're using Chart Prime to and other indicators as like other piece parts of it.
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked that, because this actually would have told you to get into it way down here. You would have set your stop loss before that, right? And when it does the breakup, you see this tick mark right here. Can you see that? That is called a take profit monitor. You can see just like the one here. There's that. It's telling you that it's losing volume in the market, and it tells you to start taking profit. If it's red, it means that it's about to reverse. If it's purple, it means take profit. Look from here.
And when are these okay, I see them on the chart right now, but are they printing actively? Like, I could be sitting down at a chart and watch this thing print?
Yes, watch. Oh, it took a second to load. Hold on. It would print on this candle close. So let me give it a second here to load the indicators in. Come on, load for me. There we go.
I thought you were like
it printed. It printed right there. Printed right there on that candle. As soon as this candle closed, that printed there, and on the next candle, it printed the sell. Of course,
and what time frame is that?
That's a 4 hour.
Okay, how low down? Let me just ask you this: how far down can I take that? Can I use that on a 15-minute chart, or does it need to be a little bit longer?
And we actually have some great strategies here. I mean, you can see here on our predictive ranges, this is our upper resistance band of the trade ranges. Our support was on the lower support band. It hit inside of our momentum cloud. There's that red that says reversal incoming on this candle here off of this strong entry. Bam, reversal in the momentum wave off of the upper resistance band of our predictive ranges, printed the red, not the purple, and down it goes. So
I'm in, bro. I'm in. Sold. Crypto fam, listen, it is Memorial Day. We wanted to get on, kind of give you a heads up as to what was going on with the markets, chat a little bit about meme coins. Just wanted to make sure that everybody knew we're still here. We're not taking days off. We love you guys. We appreciate everyone for being here. Hey, listen, follow Army Piper. Make sure that you are following Investing Bros on YouTube. Also, what's your Twitter handle, Army?
It's Army Piper. Okay. Army_Piper.
Army_Piper. Make sure to follow him. Crusader and you're going to see a lot more, I believe, of some of this Chart Prime stuff. Again, none of this is sponsored. I'm just letting you guys know you're going to see a lot more of this. A lot of people are being really successful with it. So as we trade more and more and more, we're going to be giving you guys more and more info on that. What is it?
It's at Army Piper, no space.
At Army Piper, no space. So make sure to follow him, and then again on Investing Bros on YouTube as well. So Crypto fam, be safe this evening. I know a lot of people are doing cookouts, having fun, probably having a few drinks. Please, please, please. We've lost too many people senselessly to drinking and driving. Please get an Uber or have someone drive that has not been drinking. I really stress that a lot, just because that's affected my life personally a lot. So I love you guys. Just remember to question everything, trust nothing, and until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon.